First time I tried to charge $200, I was terrified. First time I tried to find $400, I was so terrified.
And do you remember, like, how much do you cost? 200. Okay.
Right. And you're like actually asking permission. You're like,
yeah.
$200, right?
Right.
It's not even a big deal. 25, please?
Yeah.
I'll pay you.
I'm like, today it's 200. We'll see what it is tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see how confident I feel tomorrow. Tomorrow, you should book now, because tomorrow could be 400. Okay, so building their yeses through the listen technique. Okay, so the listen technique stands for learn about them, instincts, serve up unexpected, teach what's possible, enable logic, and needs anticipated. Okay, don't worry, we're going back, I promise. It comes back.
I got learn.
It's okay, it's gonna come back, I promise. Okay, so it's in those added measures that yes is waiting, right? It's like you've been at that boutique or you've been somewhere where you were gonna say no, and then they said the right thing, and then you were like, yes, I will do that, right? So it's in those added measures. So that's listening and learning and finding out about them, because then you have the tools you need. We can learn about the customer to figure out which direction they're going to go and which one we want. So, okay. Okay, so learning about them is just asking lots of questions, using that phone call to get the details so that you can figure out what they're going to be interested in. Is it going to be wall art? Is it going to be an album? What kind of family are they? What do they like to do? Are they more going to be that urban or that field session, or all those different things that are going to help you make sure that when you get to the session premiere, you're presenting to them exactly what they cannot live without, because this fits their family so perfectly. They have to have it.
Oh, wait, what's that?
It'll keep coming back over and over.
Okay.
I just realized that all the people that have said no or passed up are via email.
Mm-hmm.
What about that?
It's like, you probably close
No one's ever
90% of the people
Hello.
that book you talk to.
Yeah.
What do you do whenever they don't give you their email in the initial?
And
Write back and say.
Sometimes they don't, and pretty
They
much
never do for me. They never send their email. Then we get a phone number.
I changed my contact form to a
Well,
block form page where they
That's what I
have
did.
to.
That's what they did, but they don't. They usually just email me instead of contacting me through my website. I don't know why.
Oh, okay, right.
So they just are like, hey, how much are pictures?
Do you use Mac?
I'm like, okay.
No.
No. I was like, how'd you get Mac from a Mac? Because I couldn't get the Mac one.
Oh, you can't use that?
I have it.
He won't do it on Mac.
I have it.
Use my MACH form on Mac?
Yes.
Oh, we'll talk. He sent me an email. I'll talk to you later. Sorry.
There we go.
So what do you do?
So,
You write
okay,
back and ask
so
them for the
I
email?
write back and say, I'm so excited to talk to you. I'd love to go over what an experience would be like and talk to you about what you're envisioning for your portrait session. And then I include a little video that is the video clips and the pictures and all that kind of stuff. And then say, you can call me at, or just reply back with your number and I'll give you a call tomorrow. And do that. And sometimes they do call me back, and then they're serious, and other times they just keep pushing for
Email
The
stuff.
price.
the pricing. And what I have found is that every time they keep pushing for the pricing, they're a photographer. That's just what it is. They always are. So,
Really?
yeah. Well, especially for me. They're always photographers.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I have one of those too.
So yeah, so anytime they're legit, they never have a problem talking to me. Because I'm going to be their photographer. They better decide if they want me or like me or, So they never have a problem talking to me on the phone if they're legit. If they're not legit, if they're either way price sensitive, which I really don't get because it's pretty clear on my website what my range
Just
is.
goes to show that people don't read, because it says clearly on mine, my clients generally invest between this.
Well, see, here's what I think it is, though. I don't think it's that they don't read. I think that that very often they are genuinely interested, but they're not committed yet. So they know they like you, they're thinking it's good, but you haven't sold them all the way. Like, the sell is not there. And so they're trying to figure out what to email you, and they can't email you and say, I'm not 100% sold on you yet. So the very obvious thing to email about is pricing. So even though it says it, it just makes sense to ask that. And so that's what they email, but that's not really what they want to know. What they really want to know is, do I really want to work with you or not? So then when we can get them on the phone, then we can convince them, yes you do. And build that
So
emotional
what do you do
connection.
if they don't give you the email or the phone call or the phone number?
Typically, they stop following up after that. Very often
Or
it
they
just
just won't.
it just goes silent. The other day, I had someone who was really persistent wanting the pricing, and I was like, "You're welcome to call me, and I can go over everything with you. I don't want you to be overwhelmed or confused. There's a lot of different options we have." So I just keep trying to
You
kind
don't
of.
email pricing ever.
Well, with this particular one, after like the fourth email going back and forth, I was just like, "I pretty much know you're a photographer. Whatever."
I get a
And-
lot of that just because of the island and there's so many photographers. and I
Yeah,
don't know what I'm
yeah.
doing.
And so, well, with her, so she ended up calling, and I explained, and it was weird. She was saying she was calling for her grandson who lives in Portland, but she lives in Texas. That's why she's calling from Texas. And anyways, there's this explanation part and everything.
Lies.
And you're like, so
Lies.
what do you shoot with? Nikon or
Right. So anyway,
Yeah.
so finally at the
Never
very
asked
end,
that.
she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is all amazing. You're calling Mara. Can you just send me your pricing now?" And of course, that was the end of that conversation. So yeah, so I just keep trying to bring it back to the phone, and I've just found that if they're serious, they don't mind calling. If they're not serious, that's when they mind. And so I'm like, well then.
So then you just kind of stop.
Yeah, I kind of put it in their court, and I keep trying to give them options so that I can take care of it. Like, you can just send me your number, and I'll call you. So I'll continue to do things like that.
But if they beat you down, you eventually just send it to them and go on about your way.
Or no, you just, she
I
just ignores
typically
them.
don't. Typically they just